Because I'll tell you one thing I've learned about being in sports for 20 years. Sports doesn't make sense. It's fantasy land. How billionaire owners or millionaire owners get cities, counties, states to subsidize privately funded stadiums blows me away. But you know what? It happens. It happens everywhere, and it will continue to happen because that's just the way it is. To be fair, cities, states, and counties subsidize big business too in different ways. It's just not on the front page of sports when it happens, right? So anyway, here's a great anecdote. Mr. Vinnick decided, you know what? It's a great building, but it's not world class. So the story I was told is his CEO at the time, Talawicki, goes into city council and meets with city council and shows all these renderings of all these renovations for the building that were literally going to cost tens of millions of dollars. So everyone loved it, looked great, and then all of a sudden this one city council member said, hey, this is great, but how much money do you expect from us? Because this was at a time where the market wasn't good. It was right around like, 07, give or take, right? 08, somewhere around there. And Talawicki says, well, wait a minute. We're not asking for money. We're just telling you what we're going to do. So everyone was floored by it, right? Because to be fair, there's a lot of owners asking for money. So over the next several years, Mr. Vinnick put in $100 million of his own money into this team. What's more amazing is, keep in mind, he paid $20 million for the actual team itself. Takes his own money, upgrades the building. A building, mind you, that many people thought was great already because there's no context for it, right? This is the only arena this market has, so of course it's great. The reality is it wasn't. It needed upgrading. Here's the amazing thing. What did he do with the money? Well, in the corners of the lower level, there used to be 8 suites. Suites that sell anywhere for $250,000 each. Blew them out and created these areas where people can just hang out. Right? If you have a ticket in a building, you can buy a ticket in the last row of the building, go there and hang out. There was a scoreboard that was maybe 5, 6, 7 years old. So new, relatively speaking, and it was really good. Blew it out because we wanted a bigger scoreboard for the fans. Then we took 600 seats out of the upper level and put an organ up there. Then we put real lightning Tesla coils in the building. All these things cost tens of millions of dollars. None of them had a return on investment. Not one. They're all done for the fan. How do we make the fan experience better? Which leads me to the first pillar of our brand, the fan experience. Fan experience is paramount to everything we do. At the end of the day, there's a lot of different things people can do. But hockey's the only thing you can do if you want hockey, but we have to make the fan experience, world class. The other thing I'm not going to spend too much time on, but I'll give you some examples. One of our pillars, community. And community is broken up a couple different ways, but I'll focus on one of them, community hockey. Mr. Vinnick believes that the way to better his community is, from a hockey standpoint, is to get kids engaged. Girls, boys, minorities, disabled children, across the gamut. So it's interesting. We put a plan together. There was a $4.5 million plan that the NHL was going to put grants out to, right, to all the different teams. And we got awarded $2.5 million, which was like the second largest award in the entire league. We were ecstatic. Great. We're going to have to carve back, some of the plan, obviously, because we didn't have enough money. Mr. Vinnick said, no, do it. Threw out the extra $2 million, just like that, to make sure we can do the whole plan, right? So that's one example, community hockey, how much we as an organization believe in community hockey. The other piece, just community engagement in general. I can tell you, and Pat can tell you, there is not one special event in this market that we don't sponsor. Whether it's a breakfast, a lunch, or dinner, or a gala, or signed merchandise, or player appearances, or anything, it's amazing to me how much this organization does in the community, most of which most people don't even know. The best example of that is, again, for those of you that don't know, every single game we have a program called the Community Hero Program. Every single game, someone nominates someone that is doing good in the community. So you get nominated and you get picked by an independent board, and you get $50,000. And he's done that every year that he's had a team. He's continued to do it moving forward as well. That's cost about $15 million of his own money. So those are some good examples of what he's doing within the community. On the ice, let's talk about that for literally 30 seconds. In the NHL, you have an opportunity to spend $80 million, or I think 60, let's call it. There's a floor and a ceiling to what you can actually spend. Most of your big market teams will spend the $80 million. Mr. Vinnick spends the $80 million, knowing that we're not a big market team. So the bottom line is his goal is to create a world-class organization and do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. Now, let me put it in real perspective for you. We are, let's see, as of last year, we sold more tickets in every single team in the league but one. And that one team was a little bit bigger building. We've sold out 160 games in a row. We'll sell out 40 more this year for over 200. So it's great. Business is great. We're bottom 10 in revenue in the league. Bottom 10. And the reason for that is because I've sat in a meeting with Mr. Vinnick each year, and we have the analytics guys on one side. We have the ticket sales guys on the other. I tend to sit in the middle for a variety of reasons. And both sides are saying, you know what, that ticket's at $60, you can really charge $80. The demand is there to charge $80. We should do it. We need to get to our average ticket price. Our average ticket price is also bottom 10 in the league as well. And Mr. Vinnick, without hesitation, says no, because I want modest increases. And the answer is, well, why? We're selling out. The demand is there. There's no better time to strike when the iron's hot. And what does he say? Because I know how expensive it is to see a game. I know it's just not a ticket. It's the fees, it's the food, it's the drinks, it's a hat, t-shirt, parking, it's a babysitter. It's someone's time. So he literally sits there and leaves money on the table every single year because his goal is to break even. And again, I've learned this. He's rich beyond the Lightning. The Lightning aren't getting him rich. His goal for the Lightning is not to get rich. His goal for the Lightning is to break even because everything he gets, he puts back into the team or the organization, or he puts back into the community. So it goes back to the culture, right? It's all about the Lightning being used as a conduit to do good in the community. So the interesting thing is, and this will lead directly into what we're talking about today. When we talk about marketing and we're selling out all these games, the interesting note to that is our building holds 20,000 people. We have 15,000 season tickets. Now, Pat knows this. This is a bad word, so I will absolutely get in trouble if I say this out loud, but I'll do it. We have a waiting list. We can't stand that word waiting list internally. We can't stand it. It's a bad word. So we literally have countless meetings to try to figure out a different way to say what it is. Meanwhile, it's a waiting list. That's what it is. It's a waiting list. You can call a spade a spade. That waiting list, if we decided to sell them tickets, would sell out the other 5,000 tickets in the building. We'd be sold out, call it a day. I've worked for many organizations that basically say if someone's handing you $1, you take it because you don't know if they're going to give it to you the next day. We say no thank you. And the reason why is the strategy of what we're trying to do as an organization. The thinking is this: if we sell all those tickets, then the student, the kid, the new family that's moving in to town won't have an opportunity to come see a game. And that's important for us. We want to make sure there's an opportunity for people to come to the game because it goes back to what I said before. The game experience is important. So if you're selling all the tickets out, people can't go see games.